It's 1975, and I'm a baby nurse working the night shift in a med-surg unit in a southern town where I was born and raised. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning, and the loudspeaker comes on with the announcement that any available personnel should report to the emergency room. In a small hospital, you've got to realize that's just a couple of us. So I race down the stairs, wondering what it is that I've wished for these months. And when I get through the double doors, I take a look around, and it is absolute bedlam. There are personnel shouting orders at each other. The patients that are able are screaming and crying. The ambulances are lined up on the automatic doors across the scene. And the sights and the smell are like nothing I have ever seen in my young life. The adrenaline starts to pour throughout my body, and I am spellbound for a moment, just taking it all in. Like a moth drawn to a flame, I am drawn to this situation, and a switch flips. And all of a sudden, as if I'd read the script, I begin to do what the other colleagues are doing. And we race to save the lives of 7 critically injured patients who had been in a head-on automobile accident. I remember thinking at 10 o'clock the following morning, when I got to my car and just sort of threw myself back in the front seat, that I had never felt so exhilarated and so exhausted all at the same time. And I knew that there was no doubt in my mind that my calling for life would be healthcare. So how is it that some 30 years later, this moth, this baby nurse, could find herself on the steps of the United Way building in Portland, Oregon, contemplating my next patient? I had been hired by the board of directors for the Oregon Healthcare Quality Corporation to be their new executive director. They were worried about the viability and sustainability of their patient because this patient depended on foundation funding, and they knew that they should think in advance about what life might need to be afterwards. So like a good nurse, I started assessing my patient, and here were my first set of vital signs. A spunky 10-year-old organization with a great genetic blueprint, fabulous board of directors, talented staff of 6, some of whom were part-time, and a whopping $900,000 operating budget. So we, with the board, the staff, the volunteers, developed a treatment plan for this patient to try to develop a plan to create a flywheel for the organization that would be respectful of our mission, which was to improve the quality and affordability of healthcare for all Oregonians. And we set about our business. So fast forward 4 years. How did we do? How did the patient turn out? Again, I'm proud to say that we are now a $4.7 million operation. We have 20 talented and dedicated employees. We still have a wonderful board, and we've developed over 20 products and services in the last 3 years of development. But I bet many of you in this room want to know about the prognosis for my organization and perhaps the prognosis for your organization. So I'll share a few thoughts with you. Here's the thing. These patients, our organizations, they are never discharged. They require full-time, around-the-clock, 24-hour-a-day care and feeding by all the staff and those stakeholders who hold them up. They require constant transfusions of cash because we cannot do the work that we do on the ground, changing the world, without the resources that we need. My prognosis includes that every one of us who's in this world in business needs a special hazmat suit. Not the kind that have been on the news, but the Teflon kind that have the Geneva Convention playbook in the back pocket. Because when we were used to be under the radar, now we're getting bigger, we're getting more attention, and with that attention comes more arrows and bruising. So I hope that all of you are in your protective wear as you go forward. I also think now more than ever, we need to align our efforts and hold hands across the country. not just to share and learn from one another, but to set an agenda and take the amazing work we've done forward. I believe after 35 years in pretty much every facet of healthcare, that the work that the Aligning Forces communities and the regional health improvement communities are doing is some of the most important transformative work in healthcare today. And I know that some of you are moths, just like me and that baby nurse. And when you fall to bed every night on your pillow and you can't sleep because you're worried about sustainability and quality measures and getting it right, I hope that you are blessed with the knowledge that what you are doing is so important, not only to the sustainability of your organization, but most importantly, to all of the patients and citizens across the United States. Thank you for letting me share my story, but most importantly, thanks to all of you who have been part of our success. Thank you.